A floating mezzanine, RV space, and much more for storage in the same building, 1,500 square feet to be exact. We'll stick around as Adbeel and I tour this building together, and the best part, we'll reveal the price at the end. So stick around. Hey Pack, welcome back. It's Eric and our good friend Adbeel from WolfSteel Buildings. He's been missing from the channel, but he's back, and you guys are in for a treat because he always provides great value in regards to metal buildings. But how you been, man?
Man, it's been great. It's been great. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I'm so excited for this year. And then even like this project we're about to talk about, I mean, this is just a unique.
Yes.
It was challenging, but it was actually really cool when the full turnout.
Yeah, I did mention a floating mezzanine in the beginning of the video, and today Adbeel will get more in details of what that process was. Again, this was a very challenging process from permitting all the way to the last screw. But today, again, we have Adbeel to explain it for us. So take it away, Adbeel.
Yeah, so Eric, you're absolutely right. Today we're featuring something really special. You don't really see this very common. So we have a 34 by 44 red iron pre-engineered bolt building. You know, it's close to the 30 by 40, which is the most popular size that is in the metal building world, especially for like residential workshop garages. But 34 by 44, just a little bit of extra space, and there's a reason for it, why it's a 4 in it. And then it's definitely engineered. I mean, floating and suspending a mezzanine without getting that engineered, yeah, that's pretty risky. So definitely we got this engineered with 3 overhead doors in the front and a color combination, Eric, that I don't think we've showcased in our channel.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So stick around, we'll talk a little bit more of what colors we have here. Now, if you're thinking to create like space for your RV or need extra room for your like gears and toys, this is a perfect metal building to really understand how to maximize your space within your metal building. So
yeah,
it was impressive. So I'm glad to be back on the channel. I'm super excited. Let's get this one going.
Let's get it going. Again, Pack, friendly reminder, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and what else?
And
hit that notification bell. See, I'm glad he's back in the channel because he's already forgetting stuff. Hit that notification bell to stay updated on everything WolfSteel Buildings. Let's get it. All right, Pack, let's start talking about the dimensions on the metal structure. Again, it's a red iron bolt up, just as Adbeel was saying earlier. We're looking at a 34 wide, 44 long, 16 foot on leg height. Our roof pitch is 212. And for that cool color combination, as Adbeel was saying, we have the Lightstone on the sides and ends, vertical panels with our 26 gauge PBR with their 40-year warranty, correct?
Yes, that's correct. It does come with the 40-year warranty on the paint.
On the paint.
So that's the beauty of the PBR, our red iron products, is that the panel is just the upgraded version. So
there you go. What are you waiting for? Let's get you some 26 gauge panels. And then for the trim choice, we have it in our color tan, and that includes the base trim, the trim on the windows, the doors, the overhead doors, and we color match the gutters and downspouts as well in that color tan.
Pat, before we dive into the costs and the features of this project, I want to have a quick disclaimer about this project. This design was actually unique. It was extensive, a lot of engineering involved, and challenging. So in certain circumstances, we'll do this specific project again. It will all vary. So now let's talk a little bit about the story. So our client called us and he really needed a lot, bigger than 1,500 square feet, which is about the 34 by 44 size. And he needed more than that. And so the biggest challenge here was that the city had restrictions in his property, the layout of his property.
Even the layout, right?
Yeah, the layout. Yeah, there was not a lot of space. okay? But he really needed more than 1,500 square feet. So,
I mean, keep in mind, Pat, he does have an RV, and that was one of his main concerns in fitting his RV in a space, but still have space for storage and space for a man cave or a workshop.
yeah, no, that's very true. And now putting all that together is like, okay, how do we make that happen? Yeah. So our client really had like two options. One, he could buy a piece of land, move out, middle of nowhere, you know.
And build.
And build whatever you want. Or two, get creative, and that's where the mezzanine came into place. But Eric, talk to me about the mezzanine.
So the mezzanine, it's very cool design. I'll put them on screen for you guys so you guys can visualize what Adbeel and I are talking about. The floating mezzanine, again, there is no column supporting the bottom side of the mezzanine. On top, the way it was designed and engineered, it is suspended from the main rafter, not the main rafter, but one of the rafters of the building. You'll see on the right-hand side, we have that column being suspended alongside that railway.
Yep.
And that gives them the additional...
Yeah, the additional about 748 square foot, about 750 square foot. So it's a pretty unique space because overall now, from 1,500 square foot of the main structure, the mezzanine makes it a total of 2,200 floor space that he now has.
And now that he has, and when I went out there to shoot the content, I actually walked up there. I'm not the tallest guy out there. I'm about 5'11", 6 foot. But if he has enough headspace on the left and right hand side of the rafter, the only thing that obstructing right now is obviously that the 18 inches of the depth of that rafter.
Yeah, and that's only in the middle because I believe this one only has 21 foot space for the main columns and rafters. So the mezzanine on the bottom, the clear space is around 9 foot, and then the finished floor level of the mezzanine is 10 foot, and so that's where we got about around 5 to 6 foot at the eave. And then obviously as the pitch rises, which is a 212, it started to get a lot more. And how tall are you? 6 foot?
My license says 6 foot, but my mom says I'm 5'11".
Oh, that's funny.
But we're getting away from the point. But the main point here is you still have enough room to walk. The client still has enough room for his storage and to do whatever he wants up there. It's a very cool design. It's like a loft. It's like a loft area. Hopefully you're enjoying all these B-rolls on camera right now. It's a very cool design. All right, Pat, but let's take it back a bit, Adbeel, from the beginning to that first phone call, and that was in April of 2023. Reminder, Pat, I don't know if you guys know this, but we're in 2025. Again, first phone call came to our Janus and the Alpha Wolves in April of 2023, and we finished this project when?
Last September 2024. So you're talking about a whole year.
Yes.
A couple months.
We're talking about extensive months of planning, engineering, design, going back to the drawing board, bouncing ideas left and right, and then voila, our client has a nice, beautiful building. But again, as Adbeel was saying, it was a long and tedious, challenging process. But at the end, it was worth the wait, right?
Absolutely. So let's start talking about the pricing. So for this building itself, we're looking at about a 34 by 44 metal building. This is about 1,500 square foot building that includes all the vertical paneling, all the trim, 26 gauge PBR panels, 26 gauge trimming, walk-in doors, windows. The main structure itself, the cost comes at $55,110.54. Now, we had to add this custom mezzanine to meet our client's needs. And this was a big factor in the final design, and the cost of the mezzanine alone is $30,570. So for just the building and the mezzanine, we're looking at a total of $85,680.54. Again, this is an engineered building, pre-engineered with a lot of custom features in it.
Yes, Adbeel conducted a site visit on this project, and you haven't checked out that video, please go check it out. I'll link that video in the description as well. Very educational. All right, Pack. Now let's start talking about the accessories on this building, which is my favorite part. I love accessories. For this particular project, again, it all boils down to our client's wants and needs. For the overhead doors, one of them being is space for his RV. So for that door, we have that 12 by 14. And give us a little bit more details on those 12 by 14s and why that space. Because these RVs, a lot of people don't know, if you're new into the metal building business world and buying an RV, you have to take account the AC unit.
The AC unit on top. It just depends on the RV types, and there's like Class A, motorhome, whatever it is. Always measure not just to the top of what you see, but also includes your AC unit, which is typically around 8 to 10 inches. Yeah. Maybe 12 inches just to be on the safe side. So yeah, and that's why the 12 by 14 was the 14-foot tall is necessary. As far as width, I mean, if you want to enter a vehicle, a typical parking lot is around 9 foot wide. So if most cars fit in a 9 foot wide, then if you want to drive with these without having to worry about your mirrors or anything extending out, 12 foot is really good, but a minimum of 10. So here the 12 by 14 I think is comfortable for him. So yeah, I think that's a perfect size.
And then I'll show you guys on screen, there's a pretty cool drone shot. As the drone is approaching the overhead door, the 12 by 14, it's opening up, and then voila, you see that nice RV. But going back to these doors, these are in our almond color. These are insulated with an R value of 6.8. And then on the left-hand side of the building, we have that drive-through action. We have that 8 by 8 on the back, Adbeel, and then we have the 12 by 8 on the front side. But something very cool about that one is the track system actually flows with the floating mezzanine, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's actually hung off of the floating mezzanine because, yeah, I mean, it would have just obstructed or, you know.
Yeah.
You get the point there in that sense.
But let's talk about numbers. Again, the total cost of these overhead doors, including labor, the install, and the equipment for these doors, we're looking at $18,505 with 0 cents. Another accessory that makes this building pop out even more is that 2-foot overhang surrounding the whole building. Something that I really like about the way we do our overhangs is that reverse paneling on the soffit, right, Adbeel?
Yep. So what that means is like the PBR, the regular PBR, it just goes like this, but in the reverse, it actually goes inwards. And that's why you see it, the ridges go inwards. And when you see it, it's a little bit different. But basically, in other words, the paint is on the inside, not on the outside of a normal PBR panel. And it looks pretty darn good.
Anything else you want to add about the overhangs that help? They look nice, aesthetically pleasing. They make your building stand out, but there's many things behind a overhang that provides, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So one of the biggest enemies of a metal building is water, right? So water, especially if windows are, you know, this is just the honest truth about a metal building. The windows are your weakest point for water to leak if they're not sealed correctly or anything. So your overhang actually gives you an extra protection. So it's actually very, very common in barn dominiums to have overhangs.
And a gutter system.
And then the gutter system is another reason. But as far as overhangs, I have another reason is like it gives you ability to walk around your building if it's rainy, so that way you can walk around your building and have a little bit more of water like protection. And then going now to the gutters are really good for erosion control, especially if you connect it with the drain and get your water out, really to protect your foundation, especially here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area where we got a lot of clay ground. So that clay ground, if it's just constantly getting water and drying out and expanding, that's what makes the grounds move a lot. And so having control of your water flow, that really protects your foundation. And I'm speaking more in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Down south in
the Gulf?
Yes, I mean, you got the hill country where it's all rock.
Oh, in the hill country, yeah, hill country as well. But anyways, let's get you a price on the overhang and the gutters. We're looking.
Sorry, I like to talk about more about the construction, so sorry about that.
So we're looking at a total price of $422 with 0 cents. Again, that's the 2-foot overhang and the gutter system, which includes gutters and downspouts.
Of course, no project would be complete with the solid foundation.
The backbone of your whole structure.
Yeah, and honestly, you know, a lot of times we look at concrete and we just say, oh, it's just concrete. But no, there's a lot to concrete actually that's important, and I could say it's even more important than a building. Although I'm a big metal building guy, but
are you?
Yeah, really. The building rests on a 4-inch engineered foundation slab. It's got all the notches around for the doors, no water seepage, the brick ledge, all those details specifically for this specific project, and it's engineered. Again, we had to get this foundation engineered according to this building, especially the weight of the trusses. There's one thing to keep in mind is that foundations are basically built according to your building. Not just like when you talk about notches, but we're also talking about the weight of your structure to build it correctly according to that. So
I'm glad you said that, because if you're looking to get a building and you live out of a service area, or you're providing your own concrete, these are important questions to ask your contractor. Will this sustain the structure? Will this maintain the weight long term, right?
Yeah, so for example, a red iron foundation is not the same as a tubular foundation. In a tubular, you got posts every 5 foot, so a lot of the weight is distributed towards a perimeter, like almost evenly distributed. In a red iron, you got columns every 20 feet, 25 foot, even 30 foot. Those columns, those rafters and columns are holding all the weight, and that's all being distributed to that specific, where the landing of that column is. So that section of those foundations are typically more reinforced. And so the foundations are not the same, and that is something to really keep in mind if, you know, when you're building your foundation before you even buy your building. So your metal building team should be able to tell you, you know, how to build it, or it's important to, you know, get an engineered foundation if you want a little bit more of a peace of mind.
But let's get you that price for that concrete foundation. All right, Pac, so everything that Adbeel just mentioned for the concrete foundation, again, it's a 4-inch slab. We're looking at $26,000 with $6.
And this is an engineered foundation. One thing I wanted to mention, Eric, before we wrap this up, if you're doing a barn dominium, if you're doing a commercial building, or if you're doing like a church, I know we got some of those projects. For us, we will require an engineered foundation for those type of projects. So, you know, that's just a normal process for us. All right, so let's add all this up. For the building, mezzanine, overhead doors, foundation, and all the finishing touches, the total cost for this project is $140,363. This price is valid for 5 days only from the post date, and pricing includes, again, material, delivery, labor, a lot.
Skill labor,
craftsmanship labor, install, equipment, and sales tax. So what is not included is the site prep, which is the leveling of your site, whatever it is, dirt work, concrete, like the pump if it's needed, soil tests, and engineering plans. So that's right, Pac. This isn't just a building, it's completely turnkey project, functional space for an RV, storage, and toys you could dream of. Every detail is accounted for.
Yes, you couldn't have said it any better, Adbeel. I am really proud. We should all be proud of this project, and the client as well. He's very happy with this project. Again, from April of 2023 to September of 2024. Overall, great project. We are a full turnkey company, metal building company that includes concrete, building, and accessories alongside with the insulation, fiberglass or spray foam.
Yes, that's correct. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so that way you're not missing out on these amazing projects. We got some really, really cool projects.
We got some really cool projects coming up. Very, very cool. There's some really cool designs. We have a really nice red building coming up. I like that one.
Ensalado, Texas. We got Cedar Post coming up. We got a blacked out building. Man, this is gonna be exciting.
I want to give a quick shout out to Adam. Thank you for commenting every week when we post videos. Adam, what are you waiting for? Give us a call. Let's get you that building. All right. This is Eric and Adbeel from WolfSteel Buildings signing out, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.